Hey, folks, it is time for TWiP Pro Photo Critique number 134. This is TWiP. Hey, welcome back to another TWiP Pro Photo Critique. I'm here with my buddy and partner in crime, Mr. Troy Miller, to step through this week's submissions into the critique topic within the community. This week's topic, Troy, you picked. It was smoke.
Smoke.
Very smoke.
Yes.
What do you think?
Lots
of smoke in there.
I do. I love smoke because smoke usually means there was fire, and you guys know how much I love fire. So,
not if it's vape. Just saying.
Oh, this is true. Well, we have to technically vaping. There's a little fire because there's a heating coil in there.
There's a heating coil and element. You're right.
Don't ask me how I know that.
Yeah. Don't look at the shelf behind Troy Miller. Oh man. So just full transparency. We were supposed to be recording this critique at noon today. It is now almost 3 p.m. Pacific on Monday. We/me are making some decisions on whether this should be streamed on Twitch or on YouTube, or just recorded and published, or just streamed within the community. So there's a lot of stuff that's up in the air. I made the call to, or we collectively actually made the call to not stream this episode because of, just sort of the things being in flux right now. And also I want to blame it squarely on Craig Colvin, because Craig submitted an image that is 100% not Twitch approved.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to kick him out of the competition because this is a competition. So blame it on Craig Colvin that we didn't stream this. So so Troy, what'd you think? We had a good crop of submissions. Well, like 12 people in here for this.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, we definitely had some good images in there. I'm looking at what we have over here. A little bit less smoke, specifically than I thought. A little bit more alluding to smoke, which is fine, which is very cool. So I'm interested to see how everybody handles the next topic. So
yeah. Well, let's share that. What is the next topic going to be?
The next topic is joy. Joy. Yeah.
I don't know. That's going to be a hard topic in 2020, man.
And just for those of you that shoot models, you can't, not a model whose name is Joy. Okay. Joy is in happiness and frivolity and, joy.
That's going to be hard. That's a challenging subject in this particular year. So we'll see what you guys come up with.
Little things.
Joy. I like it.
Yeah.
I like it. All right. What do you say we dive in to this week's critique?
Let's do it.
All right. Here we go. I'm sharing the screen now. First submission is from Mr. Jim Peters. What's up, Jim? Jim says we went away from Ventura for the weekend to get away from the smoke of the Thomas fire in December of 2017. No luck in Los Alamos. Panorama needs to be expanded to be seen. Oh, look at that.
Wow. Yeah. That color, it's always a bummer when we have fires, but it makes for amazing sunsets and things like that.
Yeah, I dig it. I dig this. Yeah, because it's making obviously the sky goes completely orange as we in California this year. No, but it's interesting. You try to take a shot. Someone mentioned this. Try to take a shot with your smartphone when the atmosphere is kind of, tungsten like this, and it tries to balance it to correct color. So the AI is confused. The AI is like, what is this? This does not compute. Let me fix it for you.
Yeah, that sky shouldn't be that color. So,
right.
I love the idea of the pano. I don't think we need that right half of the image, to be completely honest with you. I think just the boat on the left. And then the other thing is that that horizon. It's we're all sliding off to the right pretty heavy. So need to rotate that bad boy back to the left just a little bit.
I was wondering if you were going to notice that.
All the water's going to drain out the other side.
It's pouring out of the right, Jim Peters.
Yeah.
What do you think of the highlight there on the sky, right on the right side there?
You know what? And that's the thing that I think is the most distracting in the images, because there's no detail there. I'm assuming it was shot with a smartphone. I didn't hear or read the description, but it doesn't add anything, right? So I think that it either needs to be only the highlight and that boat silhouetted on the right, or crop that off.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's really competing for attention. So it either needs to be the main subject, or let's just take it out.
Yeah, I feel like you're right. Yeah, crop it almost right in the middle and tilt the horizon back towards the left a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe target that boat a little bit to pop the whites on that boat to make it stand out a little bit more versus being all toned orange on the whites of that boat. Just a little bit so it's not unnatural. But then that boat becomes the area of brightness within the image, which draws you to it and kind of signals that it is the hero of the image. And also those houses along the skyline there, if you like kind of pop those a little bit just so that they stand out just a hair more, I think that would sort of lend to the overall crispness of the image.
I agree. Yeah. And that's one of the challenges of shooting in this kind of light is it's flat light. So we need to do a little bit of post, a little bit of contrast push to bring that up.
Yep. Absolutely. Cool shot. All right. And a panorama.
Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Peters. All right. Next shot is from Armando. Armando says, all the news about the forests are burning in Brazil is not completely true. Like my image. Oh, interesting. See, he's always playing with us. There's always something you're like, okay, what's false? What did he do in here? Is there a person walking upside down or against the wall? In
this there's no carnival going on in here. This is
right. Yeah.
I love this image. I gotta tell you, I think this is one of those images that super simplistic, lots for our eyes to look at, the texture of the greenery, the texture of the clouds, and sort of the play on each other, the softness and the wispiness of the clouds just lingering into the trees. And I'm assuming that's like a cloud or a fog and not actually fire that we're looking at. I'm guessing that's a cloud. So
yeah, it looks cloudy, but then the edge there looks like a fire line. So I can't sort that. My brain is like, or did he mix them together? Like, was that a fire line and then he dropped some clouds in there just to kind of mess with us?
Yeah, he's been known to do that, right? Either way, I really appreciate the image. I think that it's really, really nicely done. I don't see any cloning lines in there, like where you would blend the two. So I'm going to go with that's a fog, and it looks really nice. I mean, I love that. I maybe burn down the top left quadrant. The clouds are a little bit bright there. Let the foreground be more the hero. Yeah. And then we do have some black specks in the sky. Where would that be? Like top center on the right hand, like almost dead center, just a little bit
right
off.
Here.
Yeah. It looks like there's some dirt on the sensor.
Yeah.
Some
all right,
black.
You're gonna go with these are clouds. I'm gonna go with this is fire and clouds. Like, I'm going on record that's a fire line right down the edge here, and up here is actually clouds shot from maybe even above the clouds, like from a plane, and he composited those in and blended them well. So we don't know. So we'll see. See. Armando, let us know in the comments what you did. Like, am I right or is Troy Miller right?
Yeah.
Spoiler.
It's a great image, though.
Spoiler alert, I'm right, Troy. Spoiler.
Okay. I'll give you that.
Oh man, but cool shot though, huh?
Yeah, very cool shot. And it's that simplistic, it's not super distracting kind of shot, and that's really good. It goes a long way.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, very simple, almost yin yangy.
Yes.
Bravo. Next shot up This is the Craig Colvin shot that kept us from streaming on Twitch.
It did. We started to talk about it and then realized like we can't push that out on Twitch. How are we going to do it?
Right. And I didn't want to, I was going to remove it from the group. And I'm like, that's not fair to remove it, you know, because it fits within TWiP's censorship guidelines, but, you know, not necessarily Twitch's draconian guidelines.
Yeah.
So this is Ulorin or Ulorin.
Ulorin. Yeah. Yeah. Very, very Colvin. I love it. Very Colvin. I love that background and that shape and that color. I probably would have cropped slightly higher. She's cropped off right at the knee. So my first impression is that just bugs me. I know he's trying to keep all of her dress in there, but I think that if we could definitely crop that up just a little bit.
Yeah. Would you crop it like right below her hands?
No, I would go up just so that you don't see the bottom of the skirt. Right. It's like I would crop up until you don't see the bottom. And I think that's more than enough. Yeah. Yeah. Just ever so slightly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. I don't know. I like what he did with that smoke though. That's interesting.
Yeah. Craig is really good with his use of light and background. And this is something that you can do really quite easily. I mean, you could do this with anything. You can put holes in, put a light back there and get your little smoke machine going. So yeah, this is great.
Yeah. I'd like to see him do this at a F64 live, like recreate a shot like this. That'd be interesting.
Yeah. I want him to recreate the flower shots, you know, where he's got the acrobats or the dancers and the ballerinas or the ballet dancers in the flower, the big exploding flower. We want to do that too.
Oh, right. Yeah. Yeah.
My only other critique for this is that her chest and her face have the same brightness, and I think that, you know, her arms are darker, and then her chest is bright, right? Your arms are normally tanner, and her face is kind of getting lost in this as well. So it's really just a matter of where you want to draw the viewer's attention. But I think you should have primary and secondary and then fall off. So I would probably burn down her chest ever so slightly just so her face popped a little bit more.
Yeah. Yep. Very cool. Thank you, Craig Colvin. Good shot, man. Always.
Yeah. Good color harmony too.
Yeah, the magenta's in there. Yeah. It's very nice with the red here. Next shot up is from Steven Scharf. Steven says, eliminations, drag racer Chris, pronounced McGahey, smokes the tires during a burnout prior to his first elimination run in the competition eliminator class at Sonoma National.
Nice. Oh, I can hear that. I can smell it and I can feel it. That's just awesome. The burnouts are the best.
Yeah. You know what? Look at this person back here. You can tell how loud it is.
Yeah, it's crazy loud. Crazy loud. I mean, I can't believe people sit through these things and don't wear earplugs at all. It's like photographing a concert and they're not wearing earplugs. Like it's so destructive. Love the shot. You know, I wish it was right at the initial burnout start, you know, because sometimes you get a little bit more launch in the front end, but the burnout is really what this is all about. Seeing that smoke back there. So I like the crop, you know, the additional space in front of the car. I think that's pretty good. So
and there's another car on the other side there. See the other smoke behind those guys? I'm guessing there's another vehicle back there that's drag racing, right?
Yeah, I mean they're both heating up the tires. The goal is to get the tires as hot as possible, hot and sticky, and so that way that they get the best grip when they launch. What?
Is it true that they pour bleach down there to get the smoke?
No.
To get those big clouds of smoke? Have you heard that before?
Yeah, that's what street racers do when you're just showing off, because it makes a giant cloud of toxic bleach smoke.
Napalm.
Yeah, it's nasty. It's nasty. No, they don't put down any bleach. That would actually contaminate the track. So there's actually a layer of rubber in the first part of the track that's laid down by doing the burnouts, and they're heating this track up as well as heating up their tires. And the tires become so sticky. I mean, literally sticky. If you touch them, they're super tacky and sticky. So,
wow.
Yeah, they need that. Yep.
Well, you definitely don't want to be behind this car when it's doing that, lest you get covered in rubber, I would bet, right?
Yeah. There's lots of rubber bits flying around in there. So, again, really love the shot. I think that if I'm gonna get really picky, I would probably clone out, the little white specks in the foreground, lower left corner kind of thing, just to get rid of some of those little highlight details. I love the fact that the highlights on the hood of the car aren't blown out, right? We get those nice specular reflections, and the hood is still showing some great detail. The guys over on the right that are standing on the line for that car, they're silhouetted against the smoke over there, and it looks like Steven did a good job of burning everything down to bring us into the car. And I love that.
I almost hear the soundtrack of like Top Gun when they're on the deck of the aircraft carrier.
Oh no, you gotta
everyone's in slow motion.
Godsmack has a song called 1,000 Horsepower. That's what I hear when I hear this. It's a good song. It's a great. Nice. The beginning is great.
Very cool. Cool shot. And definitely smoky, right?
Yes. Great job, Steven. Love it.
All right. Next up is Michael Rhino. What's up, Michael? Michael says, the smoke from our Cameron Peak wildfire provided this photo during my drive from Colorado to Wyoming this past Thursday night. Hopefully these fires throughout the western U.S. will end soon. Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
There's not much left to burn.
Yeah. Just what we needed in 2020, right? On top of COVID, we needed massive fires. I mean,
yeah, I know. What's next, man? An election? I don't know.
Yeah.
That's all we need. What else can we do to tear the country apart? I know.
We don't need this many distractions, man. We just don't. Holy crap.
I know.
I love this. I love this image, and what I love about it is the duo toning that we see between the sky and the foreground. And I'm okay with the bisection of the tones, the horizon, because our main subject is not, just only on the horizon. So I feel like I want to crop the right side off a little bit and give those two trees the exact distance from the edge, because I feel those are the two subjects.
Oh, yeah. Or pan to the left a little, right?
Oh, or pan to the left a little. Yeah. Open up the left a little, but basically put those two trees in center. You got your primary and secondary.
How do you feel about the highlight, about the horizon line bisecting the image?
It's kind of like I said, I think that it's okay for this image. I think that if I would have shot this image, I would have gotten down as low to the ground as I possibly could, shooting up to try to isolate the trees against the orange.
Yeah.
Because it's also, that's the silhouette is where this has the strongest image, right? Is above that horizon, and using that orange as the background to the trees. So I just wish the perspective was lower and then move the trees up. So moving.
Yeah, I agree with that perspective shift. I also think that, if the subject for this photo is the orangish sort of, burnt sky, I want to see more of the sky and less of the foreground, because the foreground, it's very dark and not a whole lot of detail in it. And so it's more of the supporting character to the sky. So I'd love to have seen this wider so that it's more grandiose. And like you said, silhouetting the trees against the sky. That way it's obviously telling me the sky is the subject, and I'm not forced to choose, is the sky the subject? Are those silhouetted trees the subject? Or are these boulders in the foreground somehow the subject? I want it to be obvious that sky is the subject, and the rest of these guys in the scene are supporting characters.
Yeah, absolutely. And that can all be handled by shooting a lower angle. And
Hmm.
I think we've talked about it before. If you're standing there, ask yourself, how can I shoot this other than the most obvious way? Right?
Yeah.
Like I mean, and I don't know what he's standing on, right? He may have had to climb over boulders, and that's the best you can
Yeah.
get at.
Yep.
Um, but always like, well, if I was here with three of my friends, what would I do that they wouldn't do? You know?
Right. Yeah. 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 Or get close to that tree in the middle and shoot up at the sky through it or something crazy
Yeah.
like that.
I would put a fisheye on and I would walk into their scene and Peter would yell at me. That's what usually happens.
Yeah. What are you doing down there?
Yeah, that's what happens. That's what we do.
What are you, crazy? Cool shot though. Very cool.
Yeah, I like it.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Rhino. All right. Next shot up is from Gingerbearding himself, Mr. James Glennie. Smoky Hatchet Scotch. Mighty will likely crush the gray tones, but what can you do? That's true. Also, today I learned that my Glen Cairns glasses aren't perfectly symmetrical. This one was a fun one to fix. Oh, interesting. See, Troy, you need to get into glass blowing after you tire of pottery. You can start blowing glass.
I wanted to. There's a place in Harmony on the coast, just south of Cambria, that there's a glass shop there, Harmony Glass Shop, and I was going to take a class there. But I immediately realized that unlike pottery, I'm not going to be able to have a glass furnace at my house. And why have a hobby I can't do from home? So,
I didn't. Why can't you have a glass furnace from your house?
Well, I don't have enough. I don't have enough space for one, and the furnaces themselves are quite hot and takes a lot of fuel, and I just don't think it's something that's going to work.
Yeah,
too many hobbies already.
Could end badly.
Yeah, but I would love to do that.
Imagine what you could create, though. You could create your own whiskey glasses. Oh.
I do that with ceramics, though. I do. I create.
You can't drink whiskey out of ceramics.
Yes,
you can only drink sake. Only sake out of ceramics.
Oh, that's a myth. I can make that glass, that shape, perfectly that shape out of ceramic. No problem.
Gauntlet thrown down. Let's see what you can do, man. I want to see a Twitch stream where you create the perfect set of whiskey, containers in pottery.
All right. I got pottery tonight. I'm going to practice. Making some tonight. Make them out of porcelain so they're nice and thin. Okay, I'm going to work on
And I say whatever you come up with becomes part of the prize package for the critique grand prize at the end.
Oh, okay.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Okay, I'm down. I'm going to work on that tonight. I'm excited. All right, I got a project. I like it.
All right. Cool. Awesome. All right. So on to the shot. With the hatchet lighting and smoke.
so distracted, aren't we? I love the hatchet lighting. I think we talked about this on one of his previous images on one of his bottle shots that he did. Mm-hmm. And what a great job done here. I think that the hatchet lighting on this is perfect, and you've outlined that edge just so. I wish that we only saw highlight as we rounded the body of the glass instead of seeing, like room. And that's hard. Like there's just all these things that you might have in the background.
Yeah.
That come through. But I really dig it. And I'm curious if James, if you really put smoke in the glass or if you composited that in, it's super hard to tell. It's well done either way. And I love that. I love the fact that there's a little bit of smoke in the glass.
Yeah.
I do wish that the liquid that's in the glass had a little bit of luminosity to it, that it had a little bit of light.
That's what I was going to say. Yeah, I'd want it. My brain almost wants to see some kind of warm golden liquid in there at the bottom, even if just a hint of it, through a highlight or something, that it wants to see something in there. Otherwise, my brain is like, what? I'm not drinking that. What is that substance? What is in there?
Right. And then the other challenge is I love the fact that I can see the rim of the glass at the top. I can actually see the forward rim and the back rim. So I can actually see the whole rim of the glass on the top. But the base, I can't really see it. I'm
You
gonna
lose it a little.
assume that Mighty crushed that. I'm gonna assume that. But just as a point, like we want to be able to see that stuff. So it's always hard to tell.
Yep. All right.
Cool shot, though.
Glenny. Moving right along to Nora's Anonymous. Nora says, forest fire, sunrise, look lovely, terrible choking smell.
Ugh.
That is cool.
Yeah, this is what I was saying.
The sun on the water peeking over that hill. See that?
I know. I was out at Mono Lake when they had a bunch of fires up in Mammoth. I think it was 2 years ago, and it was awful to be in the area. You couldn't breathe or anything, but just at the right time of day, it just made the most eerie, dystopian, sky that I was just like, oh, this is great. This is perfect.
Yeah. Yep. Like this one. This is really nice.
Yeah. I love this. I don't think that I love the reflection as much as I love everything above the shoreline.
I like the reflection. I like the fact that it brings in a little bit of light and a little interest from the top of the image into the bottom. So it kind of connects them for me.
Yeah, I'm really torn. I mean, I love layers of tonality, and I love the fact that you have that first line of trees that I can see the detail in, and then you've got the bigger mountain. You can see the smoke, the sun, then the further range. That's where I'm drawn. I'm really drawn into that. I don't know that I need that reflection, at least the brightest reflection.
Yeah.
Because also we have the horizon basically right in the center of this image. And I feel like let's choose the sky or let's choose the water somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. I think either chopping off a little bit of the bottom of the image down here, or extending the top up, or both, so ostensibly Nora's panning up a little bit to push this down lower.
Yeah. And, to be fair, reflections are always super challenging from the creative standpoint. I look at the reflection, it's so amazing. And how do I include it or not include it? Right. And in the image, sometimes it just doesn't work. And that's a creative challenge.
Yeah. But cool color palette. It's like we're seeing, this is the year of this color palette.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it is. Yeah. Whenever you see this orange, I think when anybody sees this, especially from California, whenever you see these kinds of orange, you're going to think back to the time that California burned to the ground. PTSD.
Again.
Yeah. California burning. All right. Thank you, Nora. All right. Next shot is from Lamb. Lamb wrote a lot, so I'm just going to say this is his entry for smoke. Let's go up here. Cool.
Yeah. I think that's dust from like the cement mixer or something that's backed in there. But what I mean, such a great shot. I mean, I just love the story that's in there. Without that person, it just wouldn't show as much scale as it does.
Even though we know because of the truck, we kind of get it. We know what the scale is, but with the person in there, just you can see how big the truck is compared to that person, and then how massive the rest of the plan is, and how massive that cloud is behind him. It feels a little green to me, though. Is it? I feel like it's a little bit on the green side. Like I feel like it's screaming for a splash of magenta or something.
Yeah, maybe. I'm okay with that. I'm going to see that as sort of like creative toning. It's certainly been sharpened.
It's the Matrix, right?
Yeah, everything has a little green tinge to it.
Yeah.
It's over sharpened, a bit. I mean, I can definitely see all the little granules of sharpening in it, so that's a bit distracting to me. But a great photojournalistic shot of that vehicle, good crop. I love the square crop, the truck in the lower right hand corner. So,
Very
perfect.
cool. Thank you, Lamb. All right, next shot up is from Mike Doran. Mike says, portrait of a friend as he prepares for his first ride on a Yamaha R6 at the final AFM race of the year. I used the Olympus EM1X with a 24 or 12 to 42.8. Now I saw this shot. This is a good portrait, and this guy kind of looks like Brad Pitt to me. This is a good portrait, but where's the smoke? I don't see the smoke. This doesn't really fit into the smoke category, or am I missing it?
I don't know. Yeah, there's no smoke. Yeah, it definitely doesn't fit the smoke category. I mean, I like the image. It's a great shot, great profile. I like the black and white conversion. That's all handled exceptionally well. I want those glasses. I think I need a pair of those glasses.
yeah, those are kind of cool.
But yeah, no smoke in there.
Yeah. Yep. All right, Mike. This is a good portrait, but not in our smoke category for this particular critique. I mean, that does definitely look like a younger Brad Pitt, though.
It does a little bit, yeah.
Very cool. All right, next shot up is from Eric Pronsky. Smoky Sunrise, Lake Tahoe.
Yeah, I think that's Emerald Bay. I think that's Emerald Bay in Tahoe.
Is it? Look at the sun, man. That's awesome.
Yeah. That's and not to compare one image to the other, right? But just to make an example of, I think what we've discussed before is, horizons, leading lines, primary hooks, secondary hooks, things that really make us stay in the image. And this image does that exceptionally well. We're surprised by the sun up there in the mountain. We got that nice horizon of smoke layer, hovering above the lake, and this wonderful island in the foreground with that reflection of the sky. I think this is incredibly well done.
I want to live on that island.
You'd be photographed a lot, I think.
yeah, right. I know.
Yeah.
I like it. I like the color palette of the shot. I like the fog layer in the background. I like the sun above that hill. I also like the little detail in the sky back there, reflection on the foreground here. It all kind of works together. It looks like this could be a painting. My brain almost wants it to be a little wider. I don't know. I feel constrained at this aspect ratio. Like I almost want it to be like a 16:9, something more cinematic. It feels very dramatic and cinematic, and I want the frame to match that drama.
Yeah, and I think the island is a little tight to the bottom, to be honest. I think that it's just a little bit snug there. I think it needs a little bit more breathing room, and maybe opening it up like you're talking about would give that sense.
Mm-hmm. Hey, that's an easy job for Content-Aware Move, though, right? You can just grab that island and drag it wherever you want.
Yeah,
Photoshop.
exactly. Yeah, great capture.
And Luminar can replace the sky. There you go.
Yeah.
Put a hot air balloon in there.
I know. Yeah, but good image. I love it, and good eye to capture that. And unfortunately, it requires fire to get that unique look, but that's being there and taking advantage of that opportunity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Very cool. All right, Eric Pronsky. Thank you, sir. All right, next shot up is from Peter Levshin. I shot this with a Sony. He said, "This is how if you didn't know to smoke a coconut." Okay. Wow. She looks like she's done this once or twice.
Yeah. Before. Yeah. She doesn't even care that Peter's there.
No. No, Peter probably handed her the coconut. He had his drag and handed it over.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. An image like this, I really see it as black and white. I think the smoke would stand out better, especially the smoke coming out of her nose. Those highlights would pop better than does the color. The color tends to feel a little flat.
Yep. I agree. Black and white, but I also think the subject of this particular shot, again, it depends on what the usage is and all that, but there's so much character in her face and the age of her hands and her neck, and then her mouth and her teeth, and then you've got the smoke shooting out perfectly from her nostrils. I'd want to punch in. Like I want the character of her face to be the subject. Like I don't care about all this space back here or all this over here. I care about like right in here, like right there.
Yeah.
Like I want to see the detail in her eyes, provided he had the resolution to do that, or he could, step closer to her without getting in her personal space, or he had the lens to do it. But to like crop right in there. So it's all about the smoke, this coconut, and just the weatheredness of this character. That's what I'd want to see. The rest of this, I don't really care about the background and, none of that. I care about the face.
Yeah, I agree. I see that for sure. Yeah. And by the way, this woman's only 37. This is what smoking does to you.
So. This is vape. This is what vaping does to you. He's only 37.
But I agree. Yeah. Push in on that smoke, get in there. And I think going monochrome would work really well with this image. Yep. Make that smoke pop out. Yep.
I agree. And for all you vapors, I'm kidding. I have nothing against vaping. All right. Next shot. Ernest Hallett or Halle. Ernest says, "Little snowbird smoke. It's hard to make smoke the main in one shot, but with three makes more dominant. All the best." Yes, I agree. Yeah. See, these are cool, but I'm biased because I'm Air Force, right? So.
Yeah. I dig it.
This makes me hear the song "Off We Go into the Wild Blue Yonder" as the Air Force song.
That's like the middle image is right there, right? Like that image is.
Yes. Yep. That is so cool.
Yeah. I love all three, and I think any one of these three would have worked on their own. I particularly love the left image, where I could see that as a very wide, tight pano, right?
Yeah.
And even just cropping out the bottom, where the smoke kind of ends, where they made their move to come up.
So like right about there.
Yeah.
Yep. And then right about here, right? Yeah. So would you put the planes right in the middle of the frame if this was a horizontal?
I would put them at the top third of the frame.
Okay. So right here, you would crop it about right there and right here.
Yeah, especially because I want them to feel like they're moving and they're going to leave the frame, right? I mean, you could do it at the bottom, but the interest is really below the planes, that smoke trail and how it converges and how it rolls, and that's just great. So each one of these images really do stand on their own, but I do like the triptych. I think that's really great.
Yeah, and together they're strong, which is the whole point of the triptych, right?
Yeah, with the triptych, and that's sort of a good point, is that all three images really need to stand on their own. You don't let one carry the other. The only thing with this that I'm trying to figure out what I would like best is you've got the two left images that are similar tones and there's really no red in them. And then the right one has a darker sky and you've got the red plains. And I'm feeling like maybe that one should be the hero in the middle.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Yeah, I agree. So that they're bookended. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. And the two on the left are kind of moving in an upward orientation, where the one on the right is moving down. So to put him in the middle would give you that subliminal, unless you rotated it, no one would know. Right.
Right. Yeah. I guess you wouldn't know. Yeah. Yeah. That would work too.
Yeah.
Ooh, that would be a good idea, right? Rotate that so that they were flying up. and then put them in the center.
Yep.
That's
I like
cool.
it. I like it either way though. I think it's a really strong triptych.
Yeah, definitely a favorite.
Yeah. Well, now we come to the unfortunate time in the critique where we have to pick a favorite child. So what do you think? Do you have a favorite in the mix? I have a favorite. My favorite is I'll just go on record. I like the triptych. I like Ernest's child.
I do too. I do too. I was just scanning over the rest of them in there, and I really feel like there's a lot of strong contenders, but I love the creative element that we have in this triptych, and it tells a great story, and each one of those images by themselves are really cool. So
Yep, I agree. That is a killer shot right there.
Oh yeah. Yep.
There you go. There's our winner. Thank you,
Yay.
Ernest. Congratulations. There's the winner for episode 134, Smoke Critique. And
Yes.
so 135 is going to be Smoke, or no,
Joy.
Sorry, Joy.
Yeah.
I always do that. Joy.
Yes.
Joy to the world. So good luck finding some of that, people. Mine would be easy. All I have to do is take any picture of my daughter and post it. That'd be
yeah. There you go. Yeah, there you go.
That'd be cheating. That'd be using my superpowers for
Yeah.
So,
yeah. And then just so everybody knows, after Joy, it's going to be open. It's going to be open topic after Joy. So anything that you don't get in Joy, save it or use it in the open one after that.
There you go. Cool.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there we go, man. That's Critique 134 in the can. Congratulations, Ernest. And thank you to everyone who submitted your images or shared your images this week. Always a pleasure and an honor making comments on the images that you guys submit. So it's very cool. I love it. I love it as, one of the components of the TWiP Pro community that we do this. Which, by the way, we have some little organizational things that'll be revealed over the next couple of weeks that will make things even more cool. So
things are always changing. Yep.
Always changing, evolving. It's the Sisyphus rock, man. Onward and upward. So,
That's right.
So,
yeah.
So we're always pushing to make things better because I think, I think over time, our little community becomes more and more sacred. Right.
Yes.
As we kind of go through the pandemic together and we learn each other's personalities and we see each other's work and just make friends in the virtual world and in the real world. Lots of people have met in the real world. So, and the one common denominator for all that has been our little community. So very cool. Very honored to be the custodian of said community. So cool. Any final remarks before we end this one, Troy Miller?
Be safe, have fun, and go find some joy and photograph it for next week's critique.
There you go. Joy to the world. All right, everybody. We'll see you next week. Take care. Be safe.
All right. Take care, guys.
This is TWiP.